My parents do not like anime. They don't really want to do anything with it. Unlike me. So I came up with a devious plan. You see, I set up a movie night for us, but I didn't tell them what kind of movie we were going to watch. And that movie just happened to be Your Name, or Kimi no wa. So today, I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to tell you about my experience of watching anime with parents, and the experience of my parents pretty much watching anime for the first time. Welcome to Darcast Screentime. This is the subdivision of my quote-unquote talk show, where I talk about movies, TV shows, anime, and everything screen related. Maybe even YouTube videos, who knows. So yeah, let's talk about Your Name and what a great anime it truly is. Tune in. So, just as I said, for my parents it was a new experience, but for me, not so much. And I specifically mean that it was the third time I saw this movie, and Your Name happens to be one of those things that you hold extremely close to your heart, one of those things that are special to you, because even though Your Name wasn't my first anime, because I think at this point I was watching anime for about a year or so, but Your Name was probably that one thing that cemented this hobby, this art form in my brain, in my soul, for good. Just because of how beautiful and great of a movie it is. So basically, for those of you who do not know, Your Name is a hit 2016 anime movie, which came out in theaters and everything. I don't want to talk about the story of this movie, because if you didn't see it, and if it happens the first time you ever hear about this movie, one thing I'm just going to say, just go and watch it. You will not regret. But if you want me to be a little more specific, I can give you some tags. Basically, this anime is kind of a slice of life rom-com with some light mystical aspects. I guess that's how you could call it. The movie is directed by Makoto Shinkai, and it was created nearly 10 years ago at this point, which is kind of insane to realize, because, for me, it still feels like, I don't know, like this thing, 4 years old or something, but no, it's actually 9. And oh my god, it's just insane. But being a 9-year-old movie, it just looks spectacular. Thanks to Makoto Shinkai and his signature style. The level of detailization is just beyond any comprehension. If you did not see any of his movies, you will be shocked. I can pretty much guarantee you that. And yes, if maybe you're interested, I did not watch any other of his movies yet. I know his other works, like Weathering with You and the most recent one, Suzume. I will definitely give those a shot. The time will come, and I know I'm going to have a wonderful time with these. Definitely tears. Definitely tears. Tears will be involved. Just as I say, it was my third rewatch, and the first 2 watches, I cried. I think I cried on several occasions during each of those watches. During this one, with my parents on their apartment, I didn't cry really, but you know this feeling when it kind of gets to you. Tears are swelling and you're on the brink of it. That was a thing. And considering the atmosphere of the watch we were having, you know, and me fully realizing how skeptical about this whole thing my parents are, it's kind of an achievement. You know, I nearly cried in the middle of all that happening. So I call it a W. Another W is that after all, you know, after the movie ended, I asked my parents about their opinion on it, like how did they like it, and they said that, like, I think my father said that, you know, like, we do not watch this kind of stuff, we do not really like it, we do not understand anime in general as a form, but he said, like, from what he saw, like, ever, that was probably the best thing, like the most interesting thing. So they didn't hate it, like even my grumpy father, which is another huge W for me, honestly. I was kinda preparing for the worst. I mean, of course there were some bumps on the road, because we had this agreement that they won't be doing anything else. They ended up doing their goddamn laundry on the back, like on the background. But still, it was fine. It was decent. It was a decent view. You know, I turned off the lights. I made sure to find like a copy of the movie in advance and all that. So I tried my best to prepare, so I could improve this experience for all of us as much as I could. And it kind of paid off. So I absolutely loved the movie, and I loved it again. And I went through this roller coaster. You know, it reminded me of like how great of an artwork it is, and there's just so much things I loved and I love about this movie. It's just such a great thing to watch. You know, obviously you have the art style, which is just gorgeous. You got this nice little parallel, like this contrast of like a countryside and a bustling Tokyo city. You have an absolutely majestic soundtrack, which was written by Red Wims. It's available on Spotify, it's available on YouTube, I guess pretty much everywhere. An entire album, like the entire soundtrack of the movie. Please go check it, I guess, but like only after you watch the movie, because you know you will kinda spoil the experience if you listen to all these songs before the watch. I can absolutely guarantee you that, because it's just now that I was bothered enough to check out the soundtrack, you know, if it exists, if it's out there online, if it's on Spotify and stuff. So it is on Spotify, turns out, and you know, I kind of like clicked through several of those songs, and like 10 seconds in of like pretty much each of those, I felt like, oh my god, no, I can't listen to that now, man. Like, it just works, you know. It's so touching, it's so spectacular, it is kind of whimsical at times. You know, it can be loud, it can be gentle, it can be subtle. Like, the emotional range this entire movie operates in is just incomprehensible. Like, the emotional swings, they are just, you know, it's just such a great experience to watch this movie. Like one moment you are God damn it, I'm gonna get emotional myself, I'm sorry. Uh like one moment you're just, nothing really happens. Just like some slice of life episodes, some mundane things, and you're in it. You sit there, it's calm and everything. You're laughing. It's just, having some good time. But I don't know, 10, 15 minutes later, you're on the brink of flooding the goddamn room. Like the mood swings on this movies are just insane, and I wouldn't want it any other way, honestly. Kimi no na wa, I keep spelling it wrong. Kimi no na wa. Wait, I think it's right. Yeah. It's just such a great movie. I love the way it looks. I love the way it sounds. The story is it's just so great. It's kind of sits in the middle. Because yes, the story is about schools, teenagers, pretty much. But they're high schoolers. They have jobs. They have their whole life to figure out, and they don't have that much time for that. So they are pretty much young adults. So I could say that this movie is extremely relatable to both the younger part of the audience, I'd call it like 15 to 20 years old, and young adults and even adults, because of how beautiful it is. And I just love theming of this movie, like the theme, and all the metaphors Your Name uses to convey its thought. Like, I absolutely adore the metaphor of that red piece of clothing they use as a metaphor, and I love the way they incorporate this detail into both of main characters' motives and wardrobes, because for Taki, the male protagonist of the movie, he wears this ribbon as a bracelet. He wraps it around his hand, but Misuha, the female protagonist of the movie, she uses it as a way to support her hair. This ribbon, in the lore of the movie, it symbolizes, it carries a lot of symbolism, and movie explicitly it tells that at some point, and even make sure to repeat these thoughts, so you would really get it, so you would memorize it, so this would get to you. And this ribbon symbolizes so many things. It symbolizes the passage of time. It symbolizes all the connections you make across it. It symbolizes pretty much the flow of life in general. And I'm not really equipped to talk about all those details, but I just have such a good time watching this movie. It doesn't waste my time. It doesn't keep me for an idiot. It has a story, and it tells it, and it makes sure so this tale would be one of the most beautiful you could possibly ever hear. I was talking about the music, but I somehow completely forgot about those musical episodes. They're not really musical, but it's on several occasions across the movie there are several montages, which are kind of like music videos integrated into a movie, and they are just beautiful. Each time one comes on screen, it gets harder to breathe for some reason, and you can hear by the way I say it that I really mean it. Like, this I can't stop saying that this movie is amazing. It's one of those things I absolutely adore. Uh, man, I think the first time I saw it was, I don't know, 5 years ago or something, and I just fell in love with it, and it's one of those things that I absolutely recommend to everyone. Like, if you're interested in art at all, if you love watching movies, just give this one a shot. It's a visual masterpiece. It's like the soundtrack, the soundscape. Even the soundscape of this movie is just mesmerizing. The amount of details, like narrative details, visual details, it's insane. It's just insane, and it's one of those movies that I will probably keep coming back to, eventually, once in every couple of years. And it's one of those movies that I know will touch me and will touch my heart time and time again. So yeah, and I should probably, before wrapping it all up, I will share like the thoughts my parents had about this movie. I already told you they didn't hate it, and I think that really tells something. If like with my parents, the two people who do not watch this kind of stuff and who do not really like it at all. I asked them about Studio Ghibli stuff, like even Miyazaki stuff. It's not their thing. It's too much of a fairy tale kind of thing for them. But yeah. So yeah, my father said that it was the best anime he ever saw, and the best anime he knows of. And my mother, she had a couple of things to say. Obviously she didn't like all those anime grunts. And even though we were watching this movie in a dub, like my native dub for this movie is great. It's one of those extremely rare occasions when I can just watch a dub. I do not really do that. I never do that. I always watch my anime and even like all the movies in original dub with my native subtitles. Subtitles from my native language. But for this particular movie, I can absolutely do that because the dub is just great. So it wasn't a problem for them. But even in this dub, which is like miles above all those fan dubs you see on the internet, even with this dub, my mom didn't like all those anime grunts, all the all this kind of stuff. And I get it, really. A lot of people who do not watch anime, they got problem with that. But another thing, and this one was kind of weird, she explicitly mentioned tears and sweat, the way the artists portray tears and sweat. She said that these look kind of ugly. They look like, like the characters, they just have some kind of like blobs all over the faces and stuff. She said that it looked kind of gross, and yeah, this one was kind of funny. I did not expect her to say that, and I can relate to that, really. But I mean, I guess so. That's an association she had, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But as I told you, they ended up liking it. It was pretty good. I'll see if I'll come up with any other anime stuff to show them, because there should be something else. I know there should be something else. I mean, I like some of the modern stuff myself, modern setting. And that's a huge plus for Kimi no Noa. Because, yeah, just as I said, that pretty much this anime takes place in modern Tokyo and partly in Japanese suburban city. So yeah, and I think that's pretty much it. I will leave some links below for you to check out the soundtrack. But just as I mentioned earlier, please do not do that before watching the movie. If you watch movies on a regular basis, or if you have nothing to do this evening or any other evening, consider giving it a shot. If you somehow didn't do it yet, and I can almost guarantee you that you're going to have some good time with it. And that's pretty much it. That was my experience of watching Your Name with my parents. It was a fun thing to do. It was a fun thing to talk about. Wanted to share this with you, and who knows? Maybe this story will have a continuation. Maybe this story will have a continuation with your help. Hey, maybe you might want to show this movie to your parents as well. Maybe to your friends. Because the second watch, it just got into my head that the second watch I've had with this movie, I invited a couple of friends, and they were not watching anime at all back then. And I remember, like, my friend is after this movie saying that, I do not really like anime, but this one was pretty great. And like now, like we are here several years later, and these bastards, they watch so much more of this stuff than me. Like they watch anime all the time, like countless titles, and I just don't really have time for that. And my approach is kind of different, but like it's kind of funny to me, like they didn't watch anime before Your Name at all, and now both of them, it's just a mundane thing for them. So who knows? Maybe it'll be such a thing for you as well. Thank you for sticking till the very end. Consider checking my socials, especially Twitch. Check out my Twitch schedule. I stream twice a week these days. I will leave some links in the description. And thank you so much for joining me. I've been Neon Darkness. See you around.